Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the series where we're making a game similar to the game The Binding of Isaac. In the last video, we finished by making these devil items, and I actually recorded this video yesterday, but I broke my mic and I had to buy a new mic, and the mic that I bought, even though it was super expensive, it just didn't sound very good, so I'm re-recording the videos. I've already done everything to make this work. So basically, the way that the devil items are going to work, believe it or not, they don't actually start in the start room. They're going to be only available from the devil room. So when you kill the boss, if you've done a good job on the level, a sigil will appear on the ground somewhere in the boss fight room, and we're going to actually put a specific spot for each of the boss rooms. So we only have 2 boss rooms right now, but there's going to be a lot more. So each of the boss rooms is going to have a spot where you can this can be spawned if you do a good job. But the way that it works is when you walk into the sigil, it teleports you into the the devil room. And it doesn't work from here because I just pasted it into this scene, and obviously it doesn't belong here. We don't have a current room assigned. When the game starts and you're in the start room, there's no current room because of the way that the algorithm works. Anyway, yeah, so this is how it's going to work. The entire project is available for download for free in the description of the video, so you're welcome to download it, and it's kind of in a working state now, so you can actually play it and get to the boss. After you kill the boss, you can't really go anywhere yet, so that's gonna come up. We did set it up so that we'll be able to make a second level, but we haven't set up a second level yet. And I've been making different tiers of enemies. So there's the regular bug enemy is just green or whatever. Let me see if I can move this. Hopefully it doesn't shoot me. There's no nav mesh on this surface, so you can't walk on it. But the regular bug enemy is green, and then there's a yellow one, there's a red one, and there's a black one that have different healths and different damages. So I think what's going to happen is, like, as you go further into the game, you might have less of these green ones and more yellow ones and more red ones. And the red and the black ones, like off the rip, they just like one-shot you. Let me just delete this before he like actually hits me or something. Anyway, yeah, so like I was saying, you can download the entire thing from the description of the video. I am going to start uploading the executable variant of this. So like if you don't want to download the entire project, but you just want to play like the version that I have, that's probably going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but it's definitely going to be happening soon, depending if the build even works. We'll see. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so there's like a lot that goes into this. So I'm just going to show you what I did to make this work. So firstly, in the resources folder, we have all of these items that are getting generated. You have to go to all of the prefabs, and in the top right, you have to change the layer to devil item. We need a way to differentiate between whether you're picking up a devil item or a regular item. And this is because we don't want these items appearing in the regular item room. We only want them appearing in the devil room, right? So then the next thing you need to do is inside of the player static class. And remember, this is where we're saving all of our variables for our player. So like our attack speed, our damage, the available items, what items we have, the available shop items, that kind of stuff. Well, we need to create another list of item, which is just going to be like a list of devil items. And then so in the item manager, this script is attached to an actual game object in the file, in the project, like in the scene already. And so right now it loads the items to the player available items. So this is the list of items that appears in the item room when you go in there. So then instead of concatenating this list of devil items onto this list, which would make it appear in the item room, we need to just put it into the devil items list instead, so that way it's only going to appear in the devil room. So then inside of the actual devil room itself, this is something we covered in a previous video. So we made this island in a previous video from start to finish. So I'll link that in the description of the video if you want to go find it. We've created 3 item spawn spots. So each of the devil room options, because it's going to random between a list of rooms. This is the same way that all of the room randomization is working. So you have like a bunch of rooms in here, and it picks a number when it's generating the level, and then only the room that it randoms will be able to be entered, right? So when you go to enter it, it will just enter this room or whatever. So we're creating 3 item spots, but you can create up to 10. So I've set it up so that if you create 10 item spots, there'll be a 50% chance for each spot of one of the items spawning. The first spot has a 100% chance of spawning. So that way, if you enter the devil room, there's always going to be at least 1 item, but then all of the other spots, there's a 50% chance that they will appear. And you just want to make sure that this first spot is one in the middle. I have a mesh renderer attached to this on purpose. So if you want to see where the items are going to spawn, you could turn on the mesh renderer for the item spawn spots and you can see exactly where they're going to spawn, and then you can move them around based on this. In the generate level script, this is where the level is generated. There's a section for the devil and the angel room, and it just picks a number between 1 and the number of items that are inside of the devil transform. So if we go back to the project, this is the devil room's game object, and inside of it right now there's only the number 1. So if you added more rooms here, it will random between all of the rooms that you make inside of this folder. So you can make as many devil rooms as you want, and it will pick one of these when the level is being generated. So this only happens at the very start of each floor. So then it will set the level devil room to be this. So we've created a level devil room inside of the room script, wherever that is. Hang on. Okay, sorry. The script is called level, and yeah, so the room and level. I should have put these in separate files so that I could find them easier. Anyway, so inside of here, we've created a devil room and an angel room, so we can store the game object right in there. So then when we get to the room, we don't have to use like GameObject.find to go find it, because it's stored in these variables. They're static, so you could just access them from anywhere in the project. So each of the boss scripts inherits from enemy. Actually, all of the enemies inherit from enemy. So all of the enemies are enemies. And inside of the enemy script, we have a method for the boss dying, so boss death. So the first thing it does is it spawns an item, and we covered this in a previous video. But then we create the devil's sigil on the ground. Now, right now, the way that I've set it up, it will always appear on the ground, but it is something that should have like, you should only really be able to get this if you do something special. So like if you don't take damage for the level, or you beat the level in a certain amount of time, or something happens where you actually deserve to go to the devil room, it shouldn't just be like a guaranteed thing. Or you could make it a random chance, like maybe like a 10% chance. Maybe it's not based on skill, it's just based on like randomization. But if we go into our actual boss room, so let me turn off the devil room and I'll turn on one of the boss rooms. I've picked a spot on the floor that I want this to spawn, and I've already put the object here. So the sigil is right here. You want to make sure this is not in the same spot as your item spawn spot. You might be tempted to just put it right in the middle of the room, but if you do that, then you won't be able to get the item, because if you walk on the sigil, it teleports you to the devil room. So this starts disabled. And so what this will do here is it will find the boss room and will find the draw devil, and it will enable it, which makes it appear on the ground. So attached to the sigil that's on the ground, there's a script. So it's the angel devil room script. So it applies to both the angel and the devil rooms. I haven't set up the angel room at all yet, so that's something that's coming in the future. So the first thing it does is it checks if it's already teleporting, because you don't want to be teleporting multiple times, because you'll go back and forth between the rooms really, really quickly. And there needs to be like a timer between you. Like if you teleport and you're still on the circle, you don't want it to just teleport you right back. It checks if it's the player, because this is attached to the circle. It's not attached to the player. So when you enter this, like if you attack, like if you shoot one of your spell things, there's a collider on your attacks. And so you only want this to apply to your actual player. And so then it removes all the disposable objects, which is the boss door. So far, that's the boss room door, the item room door, and the shop room door. But it's also probably going to be the drops that are on the ground. I'm probably going to merge those two categories together because they're also disposable. So then we turn on teleporting so that this can't happen multiple times. The transitioning panel is something we covered in a previous video, where it just makes the screen go red for a second. And then so that way it like transitions between the scenes pretty smoothly. And so if the game object doesn't contain draw angel, this means this only happens for the devil room right now. We stop the playback of the transition panel and we do the white transition. That doesn't make any sense. If it doesn't contain draw angel, why would you do the white transition? It should be the red transition. Let's just comment that out for now. That's from, again, we made this in a previous video, so I'm just kind of going through this code. So the enable next level, what this does is it checks if you're touching draw devil, because again, this is going to affect both the angel and the devil room. If the devil room is already active in the hierarchy, that means that you're in the devil room already. And because the sigil is the exact same one that's showing inside of the devil room, if it's active, then we'll teleport back to the room that we were in, which would be the boss room in this case. And then we're going to disable the devil room. And so if you're not inside of the devil room already, this is the code that will damage your character. So if you want to make your character take damage for going into this, then you could do that here. And you could also use this in the other script. If you pick up an item or whatever like that, you could use that there as well. So we're going to set the current room to not be active. We're going to turn on the devil room, and then we're going to teleport our character to the player spawn spot inside of the devil room. So inside of the devil room, let me just turn off the boss room again. Inside of the devil room, there's a spawn spot for the player, which is right here in front of the circle. If you have multiple different types of devil rooms, you're going to want your player to spawn at an exact spot, especially if you put like spikes or some type of like damaging thing inside of here. You only want your player to spawn in like a very, very specific spot. It'd be probably a good idea to add a circle, just like we did for the item spawn spots as well, so that you can make sure that your player is going to be, I mean, you could do it with an empty too, but it's easier to see with like a sphere or whatever. So yeah, so we're going to teleport there. You have to disable the player controller before you do this. If you don't, your character won't actually teleport there, because the way that the player controller works, it will just teleport you right back to where the player controller was. And then this is the angel room stuff, which we're going to ignore. And then we set teleporting to false so that you're able to go back into the portal again. So then we invoke turn it off, which is a method that rebinds the transition panel. So it allows the transition panel to play again, because we're activating the animator, which plays this animation. And this will reset the animation after 2 seconds so that the animation can't happen right away. All right, so then in the initialize player method, or sorry, class, this is where we're adding the item room item and the devil room items at the start of the game. So the way that the item room item works, this uses a weighted random. We did a whole video on this because different items should have different random chances. So like, let's say you have like, if you're talking about the game The Binding of Isaac, you have like Mega Satan's head or something like really overpowered item. You can have different levels for your items, and then the higher the level the item, the less chance that it will actually appear. This is what we've set up for normal items. I didn't set that up yet for the devil items because there's multiple of them appearing and there's not a lot of devil items available. There's only like 6 or 7 that I made. So what this will do is first it will spawn an item no matter what in the first item spawn spot. So every single devil room has to have an object called item spawn spot, so that item spawn spot 1, sorry, that so that there's a spot for the first item to appear. So if you go to the devil room, there's always going to be an item in there. That would be super disappointing if you get there and there's nothing there. And then after that, between 2 and 10, it's going to see if it exists, then it will try to generate those items as well. So it's going to try to put 1 in all of the things. So this is not equal to null. So if this finds this spot, so like, because there's only 3 in the one that we made, and the value is, so there's a 50% chance per item. So random value is a number between 0 and 1, and it's obviously random. And so then we random a devil item and we put it on the thing. There's currently nothing to filter out multiples of the same item spawning. So in the weighted random as well, you should also be removing this from the list of items. So the player devil items list, you should be taking the item. So when you add the item to the character, you should be removing that from the list of devil items. I'm going to do that later because, like I said, right now there's not a lot of devil items. And if I make a couple of levels and you collect all the items, I don't want the game to crash. It won't crash the game, but it'll just be not working, I guess. And right now, picking up the same item twice doesn't even really matter. Then in the player movement script, we already have a section to pick up regular items. So if there's no more regular items, because this is actually removing it from the list or whatever, like we're removing the items from the list as we're picking them up. If there's no more items, it automatically gives you the bowl of balls, which just gives you like 1 health, which is the same as like the lunchbox or whatever it is in the Binding of Isaac, that there's like an item that can spawn indefinitely. I forget what the name of it is, but so that's for this. So for the devil item, we've just simplified it. So we're using this same pickup item from the item manager. So it's the same exact method that we use to pick up regular items because they are using the same scriptable object. And we're just picking it up. We're not removing it from the list or anything like that. And right now, if you run out of items, it's not automatically going to. Anyway, so inside of this method, pickup item, this is what makes your items actually do something. So all of these stats in the scriptable object will automatically get added. So like if you want to quickly make these items do something, you can just click on the item and you could add like, maybe this makes your attack speed go up. Maybe this makes the move speed go up. Things like the scythe, like the Soul Reaver scythe. This is going to put an actual staff into your hand. That's going to be the scythe. I'm going to use the same exact game object for the scythe. It's going to replace the staff and it's going to be in the player's hand. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm not going to do that in this video. Again, this video, I'm trying to keep this as quick as possible. But yeah, so this is the exact same code that we did in our item video where I showed you how to set up the items. There's certain special items where I'm checking for this at the bottom. So if it's like an item that has the word skull in it, it makes your character go white automatically. If it has the word jump in it, like if your item name has jump in it, your player can jump. So if you press spacebar right now, we have it set up so you're able to jump. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So let's go see if we can find the boss room. We're just going to do a quick playthrough and we'll see if we can find the boss room and kill him. And I'm just going to turn the music on too. All right, so hopefully that worked out. So you can see we have the item now in the game. So you can pick up the item when you kill the boss. There's the portal that leads to the next level. The other boss doesn't have a portal that does that yet. And this portal is broken. So if you walk into this, if you're playing my copy of the project and you walk into this, your game will probably crash, okay? We haven't really set that up properly yet. So if you walk into the devil circle, teleports you to the devil item. And I didn't disable the spheres, but you can see that like that's where the items are spawning. And so here we have two items. We have the devil hands and we have this, I don't remember what this was, cursed contract and demon bargain. And bargain is spelled wrong. I know that. This was just the name that got generated. I generated these with AI, so it's not a spelling issue. So yeah, don't judge me. But yeah, if you go back into this, you can see it teleports you back into the room. It teleported me into the wrong spot, but anyway, we're not going to bother fixing that right now. So yeah, so that's going to be it for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel. If there's anything specifically you want to know more about, or you have any comments, or you want to add any models or anything like that, if you want to contribute to the game, you can definitely do that. I don't have a Discord anymore, but if I get more traction on the videos, I'll definitely reopen the Discord. There was just nobody ever in it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one.